Women-led enterprises fuel innovation, jobs, poverty reduction, and growth. And the Canadian Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka, or CanCham, have made these enterprises a strategic priority. Invited by the Chamber, Dr. Hina Shah, a global pioneer who has empowered over 1 million women across 55 countries to replicate sustainable ecosystems, was in Sri Lanka recently. A multi-award winner, including being conferred the Government of India's Sri Shakti Puraskar and the Daughter of Gujarat Award, she founded the International Center for Entrepreneurship and Career Development, working with the World Bank, UN agencies, the ILO, and the Commonwealth Secretariat. She joins us on Kaleidoscope Life Dialogues today. You've said, every barrier I faced became the foundation for thousands of women entrepreneurs. What were the toughest barriers and how did you turn these around?
In India, women are supposed to be only cooking and looking after the house. And I decided to start my own industry, which was the biggest thought process for me. And everybody was shocked, including my husband. But that was the toughest thing which happened. At home front, that is at the social level. When I went to the market, they were not ready to take up my business because they said, "Oh, woman is not enough good to have the business." When I went to bank said, "We don't give to women." So I said, "Why?" They said, your husband is taken from our bank." I said, "Okay, I'll divorce him and you give me the loan. Then I get married to him again." So bankers were also shocked. So market, banks, even industrial estate did not have the infrastructure then when I started in 80s. So these were the barriers which I found. So you can imagine from product to the promotion to the market to the finance. It was everywhere, it was a barrier. And at home, it was the biggest barrier.
55 plus countries is where you have now done work in. What common threads do you see in women's struggles and successes across these diverse areas?
I'll begin with the success. Because success, once women decide and women have been facilitated, they become successful. And entrepreneurship is the area where women can do wonders because then they don't lose the freedom of being a mother, being a wife, and being the family member because they have their own times to manage. And once they become successful, and when they become successful, when they know their products, when they know how to establish the unit, they have the knowledge and information of consolidate the resources like raw material, finances, managing the market, and then managing the business. They are the good managers at home, but they are not really very good managers in the industry. That calls for a lot of necessity of legal and necessary government policies details. And if you are not understanding the license in the legal aspect, it is very difficult for them to succeed in that. Once a woman becomes entrepreneurial, their children also become entrepreneurs. So facilitating second generation entrepreneurs, women are successful and very good with it.
What unique opportunities and challenges do you find in women led SMEs?
Women led SMEs, they don't find unique opportunities. Let me tell you very frankly. They only look at the opportunities which is comforting them, like handicraft, like stitching, like fashion garment, like home-based industries, food-based industries. Their thought process doesn't go to the non-traditional demand-driven industries that they do not understand. Why? Because they do not have the knowledge of feasibility studies, what is market, what is finance, what is the requirement of the people, how to find out the demand of the product, etc. So therefore, women do not go for the unique opportunity. They go for the opportunities which they find it comfortable. Then the woman who is much more networking kind and who can have facilities and support from the family, they do good businesses. But generally, women don't go for that. However, I would like to say if we facilitate women, if we expose them with the technology, if we give them the business ideas of different sectors, they can go into electronics, they can go into the mechanical industries, they can go into rubber industries, they can go into the plastic industries, they can go into the IT industry. There is a name, and you can imagine that woman is doing.
What did you do different when you designed that microfinance model for vulnerable communities?
It was different because I worked with Commonwealth Secretariat and developed a new model where, including my microfinance, we gave them the enterprise development education. That was the unique aspect of it, and therefore our entrepreneurs have moved from micro level to the small business level and then to the medium business level. That was the unique part of it.
So, what role can cross border networks play in developing women led SMEs?
Cross border countries can facilitate the women to go for export and expanding their market. I had been working with Vanuatu and Tonga and all those Pacific countries, the small countries. And you will be very happy to know that 50% of the women are contributing to entrepreneurial activity because they are exporting. The government facilities, ecosystem is facilitating them to make the high quality products which can be exported, which sometimes missed out in many countries. However, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore have been able to produce very high quality of products by made by women and done by women. So, which is very, very important. And if we talk about our India Pacific countries, I would say Africa is facing many problems. But of course, they export coffee and they export certain garments and certain jewelries. But it is very necessary that the products have to be of very high quality.
In rural and underdeveloped areas, how can we get digital tools and also innovative ecosystems into place so that these women can be advanced?
Ecosystem, the finances should be available. The government should be ready to promote because they sitting alone they cannot. It is not impossible in isolation. We have to promote entrepreneurship amongst them because our socialization pattern doesn't develop their entrepreneurial capability, as I said earlier also. And now when we talk about these rural women, they are most of the time surviving the enterprises. They are rarely growth oriented because they are fully busy with their family aspects also. They have to cook, they have to facilitate family and run the business. So they remain at the survival level. Very few are growing towards better level where they can get more money. Even the financial institutions, they give crores. I mean, it's millions to the big people, but when it comes to giving a small money, they don't give on time. So that is the biggest problem we are facing, and hence you will see that growth pattern sustainability is fine, but growing is a difficult part, and it is very important to grow to be able to go cross country.
What holds women themselves back from actually growing their business?
Because they are so deeply involved in the family affairs and the support system. Again, ecosystem, support system is not available. If they want to expand and they call for the money, they ask for the lot of collaterals and all. So they can't manage. They are ready to give it to men because they feel that men can do it. Then they said women cannot because women are very busy with their own family system. And that applies everywhere. Even in Malaysia, it was like that. Thailand also it was like that. But things have changed now, and women who are strong and capable, they have been able to. When I started 40 years ago, it was much more difficult. Now the education also has grown very, very good. Like Sri Lanka is very highly educated society. So things have changed. While India is still not. So our urban entrepreneurs are extremely successful. Our rural entrepreneurs face the problems.
Are there any specific case studies that you can talk to us about where the true empowerment has actually gone beyond the numbers?
We have got the villages where all the women are entrepreneurs, all the families are entrepreneurial. They go for agri entrepreneurship as well as the industrial entrepreneurship. We have got areas where we have got large number of women. They have become the very strong supplier of the dairy, the milk and the milk products and all. So I would say that where we have been able to make the good network and focused on a large supply of the product, they have become very, very successful.
So, Kancham in Sri Lanka is launching its 5-year strategy. What is your vision for women's empowerment, economic empowerment, say in the next decade or so?
I feel next decade is going to be very much aware about it. Like the Canadian Chamber is a leading organization which is facilitating that, and that is one very, very good event is taking place. I would say that now the supporting system, like Canadian High Commission, Canadian Chamber of Commerce, or the bankers, or the technical people, or the technology centers, really need to look into the product which has got the demand in the market. Most of the time they do the product which is possible to do it, but demand based product has to be identified. Chamber can do it very well, that role, because Canadian Chamber can facilitate, can Canadian office in other countries, and they can facilitate women to help them to identify the demand based product, so Sri Lankan women can go there, invest there, establish there, and help facilitate that.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Silingo Life.